In the aftermath of all of the mass shootings, a bipartisan group of hundreds of mayors is urging Congress to take action on gun reform. The mayors are all concerned with keeping their schools safe. As Newsy's James Packard explains, some mayors are talking about creating virtually impenetrable armed schools.
A bipartisan group of more than 250 mayors pleading with Congress to pass gun reform on the heels of a series of deadly shootings. Republican and Democratic leaders from cities all over the map want change.
There's a flood of guns in the wrong hands. We have a lot of people who have guns that should not have guns.
In a reissued letter originally published in 2019, they're asking the Senate to pass a series of laws already approved in the House to expand and strengthen background checks for gun purchases and close loopholes in those checks. Among the mayors asking for the changes, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, trying to convince Chicagoans the city is safe amid a rash of gun violence.
What do you say to the people who say that they don't feel safe enough to return to work or to play downtown and wonder why the city doesn't do more?
Well, I think a couple of things. One is, first of all, we hear them, and we're working our tails off every single day.
The plea taking on added urgency after one of the most horrific school shootings in memory. And while Second Amendment crusaders would have schools hardened with fewer open doors and armed guards, experts think that's the wrong approach.
And our research shows that students who attend schools that rely on law enforcement and other means of surveillance have lower test score performances and rates of college attendance.
Many of these mayors watching violence increase in their cities. Gun assaults rose 8% in major American cities last year compared to 2020. Homicides up 5%. In New York, Mayor Eric Adams weighing options to make subways safer.
I want to bring technology, not metal detectors, but technology that could identify a gun. And I want to bring that, move it around in the subway system so that we can identify guns.
But living in American cities is getting harder for other reasons, too. Cost of living soaring. Home prices in Salt Lake City, Denver, Austin, and San Diego all up more than 20% in the last year.
I think people who have been waiting for values to go down are quite disappointed, which is what I've been saying for the last couple of years, Is it possible values go down? Yes, it is. Is it likely? Not in my opinion.
Now, mayors of all political stripe trying to do what they can to make living in U.S. cities easier, starting with making them safer.